So the Feather River is a very unique river. A lot of people don't know this. It is the largest tributary that feeds the Sacramento River, but it really is its own entity. It has its own hatchery. And even on years as California salmon kind of goes up and down, the Feather River seems to stay very consistent, if not having some of the highest numbers out of our whole entire valley. The Feather River is really special to me. Not only do I live in Yuba City, which the Feather River runs through, but it's just really what I consider my home river. So when I have the opportunity to fish salmon on the Feather, I really enjoy it. I feel like I'm at home.
This ain't a Pennsylvania trout, that's for sure.
Yo, is that one good? Out of the way?
You gotta keep the rod to the right.
Typically, you know, on the Feather River, our season varies year to year, but typically opens July 16th. And on this upper section up to the outlet, it stays open till the middle of October, October 15th to be precise. The fishing typically starts to pick up right about now, about the first week of August. And our peak part of the season is September and the first 2 weeks in October. Our fish are quality. You know, unlike the Sacramento, which I'm not knocking, and I do fish the Sacramento River further up the system, meaning like Corning, Red Bluff, the Barge Hole, they get some really nice fish, but not the quality fish we get here, just because this system's so much shorter from the ocean. So a lot of these fish, like we caught today on video, these are beautiful. Every scale white belly fish. The majority of the fish here, I would say, if somebody said what would be an average size, I would say 18, 20 pounds. You know, it varies day to day. Some days we get more jacks or more smaller fish, but if I look at my fish through the whole entire season, we're looking at a 20-pound average.
Yeah, baby. Yes. Check this out, dude. Hit that Fire Cure row. I didn't even feel them at first. It just took off, just started peeling line. It was very heavy fish. It just was not like a Pennsylvania salmon, that's for sure, or trout. Totally different game over here. We're gonna keep getting them here.
Feather River. Nice big chrome king, hopefully here. The bite's been good, you know, on the red Pautzke eggs. It's been out fishing everything.
So today we fished at the Thermalito outlet. And the outlet's kind of a unique spot. So the outlet is about 10 miles south of the dam, Lake Oroville. And what happens is they divert part of the water into the Thermalito Afterbay. Into the Afterbay that's designed to heat the water up for the rice farmers and guys that are taking it instead of the real cool water from the Feather River. And what ends up happening is the Feather River water's coming down and the outlet water's coming out. And even though those salmon will eventually continue up the Feather River, up to the hatchery or to more of their spawning grounds, there's a big, massive hole and they're really confused on where to go. So they end up kegging up in this really big hole. It's a very unique place to fish. It's a very difficult place to fish, especially when the flows are like how they are right now. It's not an amateur fishery. Boat control is impeccable. I mean, it is dangerous. You know, you want to have a big size boat and really make sure you know how to run it before you would come to a place like this. Now, there are lots of places on the Feather River to catch fish besides the outlet. And some days we fish 10 miles down and pluck away at holes and fish row and drag row. But today we focused on fishing the big main, what I like to call the main artery of this system, and it really paid off for us.
Look at the chrome on that.
Hey, another beautiful example of a Feather River chrome bullet. This sucker loved the Fire Cure eggs. Here we go. I mean, this is a beautiful fish, a good representation of the fish we catch here. This is about an average size Chinook we get here on the Feather River. You guys saw us catch some nice salmon here on the Feather River. I want to go off our rig setup. Typically, I like to use a 7 or 8 foot rod, something with a heavy, stout backbone, but you definitely need to have a real soft tip so you can feel the bite. I prefer to run braided line. I run 50-pound P-line braided line on Alexa, either 300 or 400 reel. Something with a good drag. These reels have about a 20-pound drag. It's pretty important when you're toting around a heavy weight. So from my braided 50-pound line, what I do, get this thing untwisted here, is I have a dropper which my weight goes onto. And you know, on the feather, especially at the outlet, we vary anywhere from 4 to 12 ounce weight, just depending on, you know, what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to put the row itself. And then from there, I tie about a 3 to 3.5 foot row leader. I tie a double egg loop leader on 1/0 owner hooks. And if you can see right there, the loop is on the top, and that's what I cinch my row down on. I do a double rig system. So here's an up close picture of the bait we used. This is red Fire Cure loaded down with firepower krill. I can't even emphasize enough on how much krill I add into this bait. And I will tell you, these fish are so krill driven here on the Feather River, it's not even funny.
Today's episode of Pautzke Outdoors comes to you from Northern California. We're on the Feather River, only minutes from Oroville, and we're doing king salmon fishing during the summer months here with Scott Feist of Feisty Fish Guide Service. Now, as you can see, the day started off smoky. We have 2 major fires going on this year in Northern California. We have the Carr Fire and we have the Mendocino County Fire, and these 2 fires are basically, they're tossing tons of smoke into the region. It gave us a beautiful sunrise, but it didn't hurt the salmon fishing at all. As you can see, armed with Pautzke Fire Cured row, heavily scented with firepower. We caught several salmon, and I picked up the rod today and lost a salmon. Only fished for about 10 minutes, had a great chance, and lost it right at the boat. But what a great opportunity to come out here, have a ton of fun, and catch salmon during the summer months here in Northern California.